We are back. We are live. Welcome to the Hangout, another one off conversation about things that we just choose to keep it clean about. Nothing too serious today. We just ran into a situation that we like to talk about. But first and foremost, we appreciate y'all coming back to listen, hang out, keep it clean, having a part of the conversation. Subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitters are coming soon. Videos like these will consistently be dropped onto YouTube. All these will drop on YouTube. So we usually drop these on Fridays, main episodes on Tuesdays, but who knows? We might just throw something at y'all just because we feel like it. We landed here because of some recent acquisitions. It's been about maybe 3 weeks or so, but the WWE and NFL Network have been scooped up by ESPN. And so we're just here to talk about it and what that looked like. Nothing more, nothing less. You're a big wrestling guy. What does this mean to you, Ev?
To me, what it means is that WWE has taken advantage of some of the work that they've done of their exposure because um, WWE was in a bad shape when COVID started, of course, because mind you, WWE is built off fans and having
Mm-hmm.
crowds, and once you don't have crowds, it kind of looks away. The thing is that they found a way to capitalize on it with Roman Reigns, the Bloodline story. That story, it brought a big spark back, especially as everything opened back up. And so over the last 2-3 years, that story, the story with Cody Rhodes, all of that, it made it where they were just so big and it's so expansive and open up doors because you got The Rock coming back and stuff like that. So I see this as WWE capitalizing because they had a deal with Peacock that I believe it was only worth 900 million. It was a $900 million deal that they signed
Mm,
a few years ago, and this was the last year of that deal. So they're just capitalizing on their success, which you should do. As you see, the
right.
ESPN deal was worth 1.6 billion. Um, but what I really see going forward is I fear personally that I see them as WWE is a part of the UFC now as a one big umbrella company, TKO. Um, what I see them is now they're trying to get into the worldwide entertainment of sports industry because the
Mm,
WWE has always kept themselves separated as we are sports entertainment. We're
yes,
not
on its own.
we're our own thing because again we do have scripting, stunts in a way. Everything is pre-planned to a degree, so it
Mhm.
it you can't really put that in the same lane with your big sports, because you can't even put this in the same breath as the sport of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing is that they're capitalizing on that, and because you've gotten so many eyes now watching your pay-per-views, watching your wrestling events, because mind you,
Mm,
WWE is on Netflix now for Monday Night Raw. Uh, you're getting so many eyes on it now. You now want to use that leverage to put yourself in the worldwide center of sports to where you can have some of your events on ESPN to where you can pull in more fans. Um, I love it just for the idea. I love the idea of getting more eyes on sports entertainment of WWE wrestling.
mm,
It's like a big kid thing. You get to see storylines. Me, I call it a physical soap opera. But that is the part of it where I think we may have some issues too, because
understood.
one of my issues that I see is you're now people go to ESPN to watch sports, and
Mhm.
you are sports entertainment. A lot of people, you're going to have a lot of those older people who are looking at this like, why is this on my screen? Why am I watching wrestling? I want to
Right.
watch the big sports: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, golf, actual sports. And that's where you're going to get that judgment, and you may get some people who will get turned away. But I think, when you're in it for the dollars, when you're in it for money, it's a win. It's just that
Mm,
you have to hope that your ratings reflect it. And I don't know if WWE can potentially sustain those ratings because right now they're kind of like currently they're kind of having a little rating issue because storylines are kind of drying up. You got certain wrestlers being injured, which that's something you can't predict. You can't predict injuries. And when you have a storyline with big wrestlers and someone gets injured, that's a major hit. If your biggest star gets hurt, no one wants to see that story. No one wants to watch really because that storyline is a big crux to the
Mhm.
entire show. So I enjoy it for the sake of them getting the bag, but I could see some faults happening and some stumbles because now you're putting yourself in a different realm where you're gonna have certain events playing on ESPN. You're gonna get ESPN judgment potentially if
Okay,
the ratings don't reflect.
fair. So then on the flip side, I'll go NFL Network then. Football had essentially been broken down into four slots until we had the changes with Amazon Prime a couple years back, and then Netflix coming out of nowhere last year for that one game, Christmas Day, right? ESPN purchasing the NFL Network, where you don't now have to have it was CBS, Fox, and NBC, which had Sunday Night Football, right? So CBS and Fox had the Sunday games where CBS is AFC, Fox is going to be NFC games mostly,
Mhm.
right? For both sides. NBC has Sunday Night Football. ESPN and ABC had Monday Night Football, right? Amazon was Thursday. And then the NFL Network, it was essentially like it was a catch-all. So you were able to watch games, like select games that might have been international that wouldn't have been on your regular programming, and whatever the case may be. It was his own network, late Saturday games deep in the season. And there was another, just like select games that you may not necessarily get in your market area. ESPN bought that. So they bought all the spare games, everything that was left. And ESPN being paired with ABC, sometimes they be cheating, right?
Mhm.
Because on Monday Night Football, you're getting double the viewership because people are either watching through ESPN or they're watching on ABC channels for those that don't
Yeah.
have cable to get you ESPN. So you were able to split the market, have it through streaming, have it through your regular cable TV channels, and get all the behind, not behind the scenes, the leftover games. You cleaned up the market for leftover games and bought them. That is crazy considering that you more or less, as ESPN, between the WWE and now you have the NFL Network, which is big for football, you have all the sports,
Yeah.
all of them,
Yeah.
which is new now because just to give the full breakdown, I kind of nerded out on this one a little bit. For streaming, for football, ESPN Plus gets the Monday night games with simulcast, which is new, right? You've moved CBS, which is Paramount. You got the Fox Sports app. You got NFL Plus. You got Peacock. But those don't also have all the other sports that ESPN does. So
Right.
you are now started to filter people to you. So even if you're watching a game on one, you're going to go back to the app for the other, right? That's not including NBA because ESPN has the national games and the NBA finals right now.
Oh, that's NBA fine. Oh,
They have the NBA finals.
yeah, because it's on
Remember,
ABC.
because we've been seeing the turmoil with TNT and
Because it's on.
everything. Now you pulled
Yeah.
you pulled them from TNT. You pulled up what
Inside the NBA.
inside the NBA. You pulled them over to ESPN. Which,
Yeah.
really quick, did you see that they're only doing a couple games this season?
Yeah, I saw that. They're only doing like 2 or 3, and then they out of there. Like that's I hate that for them. I hate that for them.
But they pulled it. You pulled the viewership
Yeah.
from TNT, right? And then it was only ESPN and TNT, and then NBA TV. That was it. That was it for basketball. It was them. You took TNT, right? You go over to NHL, they get they get regular season games, playoffs, and Stanley Cups on odd years. ESPN does,
Mm.
right? So the only other people that get regular season games and playoffs and then Stanley Cups on even years is TNT. So it's just y'all two, just ESPN and TNT. That's hockey, right? Baseball, they running away with it. Baseball, they get Sunday night baseball. So a lot of the other games, especially because they play during the days, Fox and FS1 is going to be your main thing.
Okay.
and they get the All-Star game. Cool. But then it's like TBS, ESPN, MLB Network, but they get all the Sunday night baseball games. That's why you would always see it was when Sunday night football was over, it would go straight into the baseball game
Sunday
on
night baseball,
Yep,
ESPN.
or they
Yeah.
were running side by side. Yeah,
Yeah.
they dominate Sunday nights. That's because for the traditional TV watching, that's when everybody's sitting down as a family.
Yeah.
Dominating the market. That's not even touching college football.
Oh, game day.
You got
ABC,
SEC,
ESPN. Yeah.
you got SEC, ACC, and Big 12 under you. SEC by itself is you running away with it. FS1 is only able to keep up because they have Big 10. The rest of them, we don't really care too much about the conferences, but that's where ESPN is at now. They have everything.
They got everything. They running up on a monopoly. They didn't swept. They got hotels everywhere.
They have everything. I think ESPN, the only one they don't really have is college basketball, because that's still mostly CBS, because CBS has March Madness every single year.
Okay.
And then TBS and TNT. That the only thing.
Oh, but wait, they got the. But this thing, they're gonna have those highlight midweek basketball college games. They have those
top tens.
They're gonna have all those top 10 matchups. That's midweek. That's the one. Because you got to think, you can't local channels, your major networks locally, they're never gonna give up their primetime specials for college basketball unless it's CBS during March Madness. That's it. That's the only time.
Yeah.
They always regulate it to Saturdays.
Yeah. They dominate everything.
So yeah, ESPN is dominating everything.
So now that they have WWE and NFL Network, this brought us on to the second part of the conversation. Their parent network, Disney, done lumped them up together with Hulu, which they're absorbing now, which they already had Hulu to an extent, but now they're taking away the literal app of Hulu and putting everything on Disney Plus. And ESPN is already on Disney Plus. When you eliminate an app, and I thought it was interesting simply for the fact that a lot of us complain, this is our generation's cable, where they were saying there's too many channels. Well, now we have too many apps.
Yeah.
Right? We have too many apps, and they are putting it all on Disney Plus. And why it's interesting to me for Disney Plus is that would be the only place besides Netflix where you don't have to keep making shows to stream, is what I'm saying.
Expound on that.
Peacock, Paramount, right, which is NBC, CBS, and then I'm sure they have whatever other subsidiaries under that. They have to keep producing shows, and they're only able to play the shows that came from that network.
Okay.
Netflix and Hulu get to buy contracts to shows that they might have already made over there and play it on theirs while making their own original content that plays nowhere else. So Hulu originals do not play on Paramount, Peacock, or whatever the case may be. They don't play on Netflix. It's just them, which will now be Disney.
You're right. Okay.
And I get to get some of your biggest pieces of your Peacock. I currentently got Fresh Prince contract. It's on Hulu. Right, if it was like that, or your big fish of Seinfeld, or I might be able to buy The Office in a couple of years when its rights are up, and have it playing on my network soon, where you can only play your network. So you got rights to it now. If it's a new show, if people are interested in it, you might have a few of your classics, but I got a couple of others, and I got everything else over here. And why that's important, because when I think of HBO Max, I think of Showtime, I think of those can be subcontracted out where I can get that subscription through my Hulu or through my Disney Plus.
Yeah.
The same way you might be able to get it over there, but I now have those under here too. They're just amassing all the stuff to watch on that one app.
I wonder how did Hulu get under Disney to begin with? Because that's honestly the biggest crux right there. Like when did that happen?
Let me see, because that's when they introduced the package deal.
Because I had that package deal with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
Yeah, When did
'Cause I know Disney Plus came out with like 2018, 2019. But like, I wonder what made it to become because you
2025 is when they gained full ownership
okay
from
for
Comcast.
ownership.
So they had been
Oh, so
acquired.
Hulu was through Comcast.
Yeah, so Hulu was Disney had bought majority stake in Hulu in 2019.
Okay, so that's when the Disney Plus app probably is starting.
Yes. That's when
Okay,
the Disney Plus app first got started. Hulu already had an app out and
right.
was
Because I
already
think
doing what
Hulu,
that
because
was.
that's the thing. Hulu and Netflix, Hulu and that's why I'm asking why when did Disney come into play? Because to go to your point of like Netflix, they can go get others and then make their own. Hulu was in that same boat too because they were the first two streaming services that were going to go get.
Mm,
And that's why I'm like, well, Hulu's the real big crux here because
yes.
Hulu did everything. Hulu actually was Hulu was actually doing the Netflix thing better and more efficient because they were already doing it through the cable. So that's why I'm like, well, Hulu getting signed with Disney is the big joker in all of this because,
Mhm.
like you said, Hulu can do the cable subscription, Hulu can do their own original content, but now you got the mouse attached.
Yeah, because what ended up also being a major piece for Hulu was Netflix was having the entire series when they were first both starting on. Netflix would get the entire series, you could watch it. Hulu was releasing episode by episode per week, so they
And
would
you
have the
only had
new
like a
season.
time frame
Yeah,
to it,
it was
right?
only like the most recent season and then those episodes from the most recent season where Netflix would have everything before that.
Yeah.
Once that started changing and now you then bought them out, which is they officially now own it outright as of June this year.
Oof. And
Disney
you see,
officially owns
and
Hulu, and that's why you see
the
Hulu
app is about to go
disappearing
away.
into the Disney Plus app. Yes. So outside of Netflix and Hulu, you got like yeah, you have Apple TV, but they again can only play Apple TV stuff. The only reason Prime is to be talked about is because it comes with your Prime subscription.
Yeah,
We can y'all get Prime Music too, and none of y'all use it.
I absolutely do not use it. I've
none,
never
of,
used it. I have
none of y'all
absolutely not.
use it. So you're only you land on Prime, which was big for them to get that football contract because other than that, you weren't there as a first choice. You just
No,
couldn't find what you wanted to watch for that moment on every other platform. So, what do you think this looks like with what do you think this looks like with them more or less cornering what seems to be, we'll just guesstimate 80 to 90% of the market
man,
of your viewership, of your just watching?
I'm gonna be real, man. From how I'm noticing it, like the same way you just said earlier, like back then with cable, it was like too many channels and all that, and then now it's too many apps. Oh damn, oh shoot. Oh well. Give me 1 second. I gotta cut my light back on. Hold it. Hold my. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I had a visual malfunction. I wanted y'all to make sure y'all saw my pretty face just a little better. Sorry about that. But as we were going in the conversation, what I was saying was honestly, we're now Disney is starting to honestly get into the point where they're bringing cable back. Essentially, they're bringing cable back to the masses. Of hey, you just come over here to Source Awards. You tired of them dancing in the videos? Come on over to Disney where you got a one-stop shop for everything.
Mm,
That's the market that we're getting into of because like you said, and like we already said, like the big crux is Hulu. Well, Hulu will give you more money so you all can continue furthering your agenda of creating new shows,
yep.
purchasing other shows. Will give you the financial stability and the financial backing. Guess what you got to do? You just got to come under the umbrella. Just come under
Yeah.
the umbrella because I mean it's safe over here. We Disney. We already have a surplus of things. We're not going to go under. So trust us.
Yeah.
And we've had you since 2019 already. We've already had this working relationship, and we've all seen the popularity and the growth potentially in all of our respective places. So hey, we're going to continue funding you. And I think that's what it is that you got Disney just playing They put their nuts on the table. Just call it what it is. They put their nuts on the
Yeah,
table of just owning the market.
they because you would be monopolizing.
Yeah.
To your analogy for the cable thing, you'd be monopolizing because, at least from what I remember, you had, what was it, Time Warner, which turned into Spectrum, and it was something before Time Warner. You had Time Warner
Oh,
Cable. You could get your cable through Dish Network. You could go through AT&T. Verizon had Files at one point. Like, you had multiple places to get cable,
yeah. A
where
lot.
cable is now put in the streams and is going through the networks more than it is the cable companies, where they would bid for those contracts and you could purchase more. Now it's just all on one streaming service for the most part. And buddy, they are an anime purchase away from completely locking in on the market.
What
Like,
you think?
if
If they get
anime had
Crunchyroll,
a central, yeah, if they bought Crunchyroll, man,
that'd be, yeah.
and just upcharged,
Mm,
because you can't stop them at that point. You
yeah.
can't really stop them now, and that's where that ESPN purchase for ABC was so clutch back in I think, because Disney purchased ABC back in like '96.
Mm.
It's been a while.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just that
yeah.
you didn't know because they
I remember
just
now.
kept it quiet, right? You
Yeah.
know, so they were handling business just as Disney, as separate entities, and then you'll just get reminded of it every now and then. Now they're just throwing it in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith telling you, like, hey man, I gotta respond to Mickey.
Yeah.
Like, the mouse is in the house.
Mouse in the
You know,
house, man.
whew.
And they owning everything, and that goes to a deeper level. I don't know if you want to go here right now, but that goes into the sports portion of it too. With them owning sports, it kind of piggybacks it back over when you saying,
Mhm.
"I got to report to Mickey." Yeah, you got to report to Mickey, and guess what? Mickey's probably telling you the guidelines of what it is you got to say, what you have to say, or what you cannot say. Now,
I agree. I don't think it stops there, because most of these are entertainment networks and you got most of the market. You starting to tell us what the score is.
mm,
You starting to tell us. Remember, the NFL and the NBA aren't sporting businesses; they're entertainment businesses, which is why you tie it back in all the way to the WWE piece. You are more than likely telling the entire narrative of what it looks like on how this goes, and then you're telling me what the scores are going to be, and it's just all some type of filtrate, not some type. The analysts are saying sometimes what the fans are saying, their complaints, this style of basketball is either really really good or really really bad. That's the example, right? You
mhm,
need to get back to this, you need to get back to that, and you get the engagement piece, gauge the engagement, and then that's when you start telling the league, we want scores capped out here, fouls get called here,
yeah,
penalties. Like, you start, if you have everything in the entertainment networks, what would be the separation between them and WWE? Where do you not see it start to merge and such? We've already been hearing
that's
rumors
true.
recently, which we felt there was conspiracies anyways. We knew this, gambling
Yeah.
exists, but the
Oh,
sport,
whoa, whoa. Hey, the fact you even said that, guess what? ESPN now does the betting thing.
yeah,
ESPN now has betting analysts on their sports shows doing segments.
and they have the line, they push the line and the gambling advertisements throughout, like from the fantasy app to the ESPN app. Like, they're telling you what the updated line is
Yeah,
for the game you are watching or you're focusing on through the app.
yeah.
Let you know.
They own it all. This is nasty.
Do you think do you think there will be noticeable changes to a possibility of narrative implications on actual sport play with them now cornering majority of the market?
Uh I think the only narratives that will probably get bigger are in basketball and football. Not I don't think any of the other sports, just because, and not to say it like this, but the other sports like hockey, golf, tennis, because those, well, removing hockey, but those other sports are more individualized to where
Right.
it isn't too narrative based because those players are quiet. So even
Right.
boxing. So I'll say the main sports of basketball, football, I'll say hockey, boxing. I think those narratives now increase because the narratives that you can create from those on those specific players are so angling and so pigeonholing that the crowd will always be able to reinforce that narrative for you once you put it out there.
Mm. Okay.
Because narratives are so strong in those sports,
Yeah.
like
Uh,
basketball and football, for example. Boxing, I'm kind of waving on boxing because the narratives in boxing come from the individual's actions. Like they
yeah.
dictate what them their actions, whether positive or negative, dictate those narratives. So I'm kind of a more, I'll take that boxing one back a little bit.
I I'm gonna go conspiracy route.
All right, let me
I
hear
have
it.
nothing to prove this
Okay.
at all. There is there is no tangible evidence other than stringing along things to make paper mache into a sheet of paper. That's what I got right now. I think Disney has an undercover contract with Nike.
Oh,
Nike has the three major sports under them: NBA, MLB, NFL.
yeah.
And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Since the college football playoffs,
Mhm.
despite ESPN not having the line, like they have the SEC, they have the ACC for football, right?
Mhm.
They don't have the Big Ten. What is factual though is when they are playing the college football championship, since that has started, there has never been, if I remember correctly, a non Nike team that has won. Nike and Jordan Brand, not once,
I see where you're going now. That's
not once.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going now. I see where you're
So
going. I like
your
that.
biggest hitters of championships, the most viewerships for American sports, that's constantly playing in front of your face. Even if the player is signed elsewhere, it's a Nike jersey.
Yeah.
It's it's a Nike jersey in front of your face. You got most of the Nike kicks. You got a Jordan brand logo sitting
Yeah.
there, man.
I see what
Like
you mean now. I see what you mean. That's I didn't think of that. I did not think of that because I've never went that far to see that. That's
not a
wicked.
single non-Nike team has won. It doesn't matter if you're, it doesn't matter if Steph Curry was running away with the 2022 finals. It doesn't matter that you go to the Olympics and he's the last face you remember and he signed the Under Armour. But you know what that USA jersey was?
Nike.
You know what that Golden State jersey was? It don't matter if you have some different, you still right
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 under
here.
there.
The same
Yeah.
way Disney got the arm lock on the entertainment, they're gonna they're gonna announce a collab with some type of Mickey Mouse in a house shoe with an Air Force One that's an exclusive colorway, and they're gonna initiate it as Dornbecker. You know they're gonna start small, make it slide in there when there's those one-off Nikes like that. They're gonna start there. Then they're gonna see the feedback, like, oh, these are exclusive. Oh man, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, it's just gonna be a run.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Disney related kicks, man.
That's
I think Disney and Nike have a deal that's either on the way. Hell, nah, I was about to reach super far.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. We here. Go ahead.
I was gonna say something crazy like he's so mad at Nickelodeon for making him Jimmy, and when he him in his Nike contract, he gonna sign to
Stop.
Disney.
Right. How do we go? How did we get to him?
I was tying things together. I told you I don't have concrete evidence.
How do we
I have
get
paper
to
mache.
him?
I have paper mache making this conspiracy theory work, man.
But you know what's crazy? Well, how life goes, I won't even put that past it because he's dabbled in the sports line, like you said, is having deals with sports. Like he's done the sports thing. Like you, this man could. Ooh,
Hmm.
I'm not even.
Because even
I'm done. I'm not even going
okay,
into that. I ain't even
because
going
we'll
into
go
that.
to the other side.
Okay.
The of the athletes that you're constantly putting on your channels, even if you go beyond America, majority of the biggest athletes are Nike brand. You
Absolutely.
almost lose most of Adidas because the rise of Under Armour was undercutting Adidas in America. Puma is always a factor outside of America, so Adidas is still finding themselves. And now that Messi is more or less retired, give me your three biggest off top Adidas athletes.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be here thinking for a second. I'll be here
Okay.
thinking for a second.
Okay. Do they
Like
have
I'd have to
anybody
hit some
of the
boots.
tier of LeBron?
Absolutely not.
Ronaldo.
Okay. Okay.
They
Okay.
have,
I'm
they have.
sorry.
Do they have worldwide talent that were making
Me too.
happen?
Let me look at the top 10. Let me look at this because I'm Googling right now because I don't know. I don't know Adidas athletes. Patrick Mahomes.
Wearing
But
a what?
but again, he's wearing
Oh,
a
okay.
helmet, so that don't even help. Like that's the thing.
No,
NFL doesn't
not
even
even
help.
helmet. What? The jersey? Who makes the
Oh,
jerseys? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So when the Super Bowl numbers go up and you're selling the jersey and you're getting the Mahomes jersey, I'm pretty
yeah.
I'm pretty confident it's Nike.
Look at this. Yeah, I'm looking now. Pat Mahomes, Dame Lillard, which that's your third biggest guy. That's a done bun. Dame Lillard, David
James Harden.
Beckham, Gout. Who is this? Is a track and field. I'm
He's a
sorry.
track
Nope,
star.
nope, nope.
Track star. He's
Track
a track
star.
star.
Yeah. Rose Zhang, golf. Jude
Okay.
Bellingham, soccer,
Okay.
Real Madrid.
Yeah. So
Lamine Yamal,
it's
more
dark.
soccer. Yeah, it's very
He's
dark
dark.
because I don't know who. I don't know. Ooh, Mackenzie Long. Okay. I don't know who
Your
she
current
is, but
Super
I
Bowl
see a picture.
champion, your current Super Bowl champion MVP was shown on Disney Networks wearing a Nike jersey as a Jordan Brand athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. James Harden, Anthony Edwards. Those would be the other two. Them would be the other
And
two.
Ant's doing all the fighting for Adidas right now.
And,
He's doing all the fighting.
yeah.
I am of the belief. I'm even starting to notice in the time frame where we've seen brands be very stingy because that back in the day when you used to see all the brands in the movies and there wasn't too much issue of it showing. I've seen a lot of Nikes recently in these streams, and I'm just saying, and I've been peeping that commercials, all that,
Yeah.
on the Disney Network. That's where I'm at the point now that I think we're gonna see it because there's nothing else left
I'm
other than
tracking with
buying
you.
the clothes on your back.
I'm following.
It's what you wear.
You've navigated me through the hole. I see you. Pause. That was God. That was nasty. Golly. God.
Hey yo, don't ever put that on my name again. don't
Yeah. Everybody.
don't ever put that on my jacket. Don't.
All right. I think that is it. Oh God. I'm sorry.
Hey man.
Oh.
This has been to keep it clean after a dirty thought by Ev and putting the stain
That just did it, dog.
on my
God.
Letterman for no reason.
I'm sorry, dog.
To counsel Ev, you can like, comment, and subscribe to Keep It Clean channel to tap in with him to get his mind right.
Please do.
Focus better.
Please do.
Follow us on YouTube. Give us all of your feedback. We appreciate y'all being here. Love y'all. Just a one-off thought for one-off conversations because we be at Kickbacks. We out.